Hello everyone and welcome back to Kobean History. Today we have the second episode of the British History series, and we will have a look at the Mesolithic or the Middle Stone Age. It lasted from around 11,000 years ago to 5,500 years ago, and it marks the period after the last ice age when people started to permanently occupy Britain. At the beginning of the Mesolithic, Britain and Ireland were connected to continental Europe due to low sea levels. But when the sea level started to rise, the land bridge between Britain and Ireland was cut, which happened around 11,000 years ago. But Doggerland, the land bridge connecting Britain to the continent, would persist much longer, which we will come back to later. From this point onwards in the video I will be referring to the time periods like we conventionally do. So by that I mean with BC instead of years ago. So there is a difference between that of about 2000 years. So by 8000 BC, so that is 10,000 years ago, birch, pine and alder forests had spread across Britain rapidly due to the increase in temperature, and humans reached the far north of Scotland during this time as well. The new, less open landscape was not well suited for the large herds of reindeer and wild horse that had sustained humans previously. So those animals were replaced by other less social animals such as elk, wild boar and aurochs. So those are the animals that people of this time would have hunted and eaten. They also developed different hunting techniques more suitable to this new environment and prey. Tools changed to incorporate barbs which could tear the flesh of an animal, making it harder for them to escape alive. Other new tools such as adzes were also developed for woodworking, but the smaller flint blade types remained similar to those of the Paleolithic. It was also during this time that dogs were domesticated for their benefit while hunting, and the wetlands created by the warmer weather were a good source of fish, and it also attracted thirsty animals that they could hunt. It is likely that these changes in environment triggered the groups of humans to develop social changes as well. A building dating to around 8500 BC was discovered at Starcar in North Yorkshire, and in Howick in Northumberland, evidence of a large circular building dating to around 7600 BC was found and is thought to be a dwelling of the people from that time. And a similar site like this was also found at Deep Carron in Sheffield. The older view we had of nomadic Mesolithic Britons is now being replaced with a more complex view of seasonal occupation or even permanent occupation in some places. A DNA analysis of Cheddarmen, which is the name given to human remains found in Cough's Cave at Cheddar Gorge, shows mitochondrial DNA belonging to the haplogroup U5. Haplogroups, by the way, are a way to distinguish different migrational groups of humans when they spread across the world from Africa. Within modern European populations, U5 is now concentrated in Northeast Europe. The distribution of this haplogroup found in human remains of this time shows us that this group were amongst the first people to resettle Northern Europe after the last ice age. This same haplogroup has also been found in other Mesolithic remains found in West and Northern Europe. It may have been one of the most common haplogroups in Europe before the spread of agriculture from the Middle East. Which is a good segue to our next segment. Wheat of a variety grown in the Middle East was present on the Isle of Wight as far back as 6000 BC, before Doggerland was submerged, presumably around 5800 or 5400 BC. But it's even possible that Doggerland could have possibly lasted as late as 3800 BC. Farming became more common in Britain around 4500 BC, when the natural resources were getting more and more exhausted, and the hunter-gatherer way of life was unable to sustain the growth in population. The spread of farming is the transition point of the Neolithic, so that's what we will talk about in the next episode. Thanks for watching, and as always, leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you're interested in videos like this one, there will be a playlist of the series on screen right now. Or if you're interested in history as a whole, you can check out my channel for a wider variety of historical topics.